It's red. So continuing on with the BookTube tag catch-up, today I'm going to be doing the Epic Reads tag, and I was tagged by Emma from Emma's Books, and I was tagged by Alexa, and I'm totally spacing on your channel name, but I will link both down below. And I forgot who made the tag, so I'll link that too, if I remember. I forgot. I'm sorry. The questions are long, so I'm just going to read them off my computer. Number 1. If you could invite one author and one of their fictional characters to tea, who would you invite and what would you serve them? I would invite J.K. Rowling and Luna Lovegood because they're kind of amazing. And it was really hard for me not to pick Sirius Black or Bellatrix because they are actually my favorite book or Harry Potter characters. But I feel like J.K. Rowling would just be such an interesting person to have tea with and have conversations with. And the same thing goes for Luna. I just feel like the three of us would just totally have like this girl bonding moment, and it would just be wonderful. Number 2. What book do you wish the author would write a prequel for? Honestly, I would kind of love a Harry Potter prequel. And it doesn't have to even be very long. It doesn't have to be like the length of all her other books. But they could do kind of like a Ferris thing like they did with the Lunar Chronicles, where it's only like 200 pages, but it's just really interesting insight. And I think that I would like that either from, like, to delve a little bit deeper into Voldemort, like some, you know, kind of briefly going over an event in his childhood or his time at Hogwarts a little bit deeper than they do in the books. Or I would also like a prequel that goes over like Sirius Black and James Potter and all of those, you know, like that, their little group, and Snape and Lily, and just maybe a little prequel about their time at Hogwarts. Again, nothing too extensive, just maybe talking about a period of time or, you know, an event, something like that. I feel like it'd be really interesting just to be able to dive into those characters a little bit deeper. Number 3. Which two characters, not from the same book, do you think would make a good couple? I don't know about good, but interesting might be Gavriel from The Coldest Girl in Cold Town and Mara Dyer from The Unbecoming Mara Dyer, because both are batshit crazy, and I just think that they would be one hell of a ride to read about because they're just... Number 4. If you ran into your favorite author on the subway and only could say one sentence to them, who is it and what would it be? I know this is a little bit of a repeat answer, but I'm going to have to go with J.K. Rowling. If I ran into her on the subway, I would ask her why a raven is like a writing desk. And that's mostly because I feel like that's just one of those literary questions that will never have an answer because it's total nonsense. But I feel like if anybody has a creative mind to come up with some super awesome, like magical answer to it, it would be J.K. Rowling. Number 5. What book made you a reader and why? Oh, geez. This is too hard because I've been a reader ever since I was a little kid. My mom read to me all the time, so I've always been a big reader, but I know that Ella Enchanted was a huge influence. I read that so many times, but I'm going to focus this more on my sort of rekindled love for reading, the sort of new wind that I got that actually ended up with me creating a BookTube, because I went through a little bit of a college slump in reading because I was so dealing with work in college that I just kind of went through a really long reading slump and I just was not active in my reading. But then I saw that the movie The Mortal Instruments was coming out, the City of Bones movie, and I wanted to, and it looked interesting because I had seen the book on the shelves at Barnes & Noble and stuff, but I didn't know anything about it, but the trailer made it look interesting, so I wanted to read the book before the movie premiered. And I picked up City of Bones. I think I might have even bought it just on my Nook. And I read it and I loved it so much. And then I went and saw the movie at the midnight premiere. And it's really interesting because Emma has a really similar story. But I feel like it just really rekindled my love for reading because it was just fun. It was easy and it was fun. And it was an escape from all the other stresses in my life. And it reminded me why I love reading, and it just made me wonder why I let myself get so far away from it. Number 6. Incendio. The bookshelf just caught on fire. Show us the one book you save. I'm going to have to say it would be really hard not to save my Harry Potter books, but realistically I know that those can be replaced, and I can get them replaced in similar editions. Maybe not quite the first editions of my first couple, but similarly. My computer just fell off my lap. But I'm going to have to say, and it is not this edition, but this is the one that's sitting next to me right now, but in my movie tie-in edition of The Silver Linings Playbook, it is signed by Matthew Quick, and I cherish that book so much. I cherish that book so much. I think it is the only book that I have that could not be replaced, because I just cannot replace it with his signature without, you know, tracking him down, finding, signing, and getting it done again. It would be a lot more difficult. So yeah, I'm going to go with my other version of the Silver Linings Playbook. Number 7. Which dystopian world would you want to live in if you had to choose one, and why? This was really hard because if you guys read dystopians, they kind of suck. Like they're dystopians, they're not utopian worlds, they're dystopian worlds, and they're dystopian for a reason. So can I just like choose none and stay right where I'm at? And I wish this was a little bit broader to just a world, because that would be the wizarding world, because who wouldn't? But it's a dystopian. So I guess if I had to choose, and I'm not really a fan of any of them, I would probably have to choose the world of the Selection series, because at least there's ball gowns, and if I could maybe be part of the selection process, or maybe in one of the higher casts, because it'd be pretty awful down below. But I guess, I don't know, I guess I really don't want to live in this world that much, but if I had to choose over like the Hunger Games and Divergent and, you know, etc., I'm going to have to go with the Selection series, because it's like kind of the least bad. 8. What is your most epic read of all time? For this one, I am choosing The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and that is because I have reread this one more times than I can even count. I've never reread a book as many times as I've read this one, and that's because I get the same things out of it every time, but I get different things out of it every time I read it, and I love it, and it's comforting for me, and it's like my teddy bear of a book. I love it. So for me, this is my epic read of all time. So that is all for this tag. I guess this is the time where I tag people. So I'm going to go with everyone from the Bibliothon. So not Emma or not anybody that's actually done it. So Cassie, Kelly, Selena, Sierra, Brittany. Who am I missing? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm going to tag Anya from Anya's Corner. I'm going to tag Sam from Samantha's Books. I'm going to tag Noelle from Noelle Reads or Noelle Books. I'm going to I'll tag Latham. I will tag The Bookish Blonde, and I'll tag Chloe from Blondie's Books. That's good, right? That's a more than sufficient amount of tags. Alright. Talk to you guys later.